Do you think Joe Rogan would have made a better moderator than Chris Wallace?
Oh, a million times
It
better.
would have been interesting to see Joe Rogan try to rein Don in, right? Like Chris Wallace tried. Let's not act like they were both interrupting, right? One guy was the problem, and that was Trump. Could Joe have been like, Don, what are you doing here? Like, why do you keep doing this? You got to let him talk too. And then would he just roll over? I don't know. Like, how do you get Trump to...
Trump doing a ton of interrupting, trying to throw Biden off his game, try and throw him off his game, obviously. But I also saw Chris Wallace interrupting, like jumping in on behalf of Biden more than Trump. Like, I think that was known. That was another, you talked about the number of times Trump interrupted, which was definitely more than Biden. Chris Wallace interrupted Trump quite a bit more than he interrupted Biden.
He would tell Trump it's not his turn to talk. Right? The format was you go for 2 minutes, you go for 2 minutes, and then they both go. While Biden's trying to talk, Trump is interrupting him. That's when Chris Wallace would be like, you agreed to these rules. Now they're trying to come up with new debate rules, and Trump won't change them. Trump feels like he really crushed it in those debates, and he wants to do it again.
Are they doing?
Do you guys like those debates? Do you guys like that rule? I personally hate it. Like 2 minutes, you get so much information across to let another guy like respond to all of it. It just seems like people can't keep track of all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Well, they can't keep track of it, and it'll be shit like, all right, President Trump or Vice President Biden, it's your turn to respond to climate change. And they'll be like, and another thing, still on the economy, that XYZ, ABC, 1, 2, 3, fuck you. And it's like, oh, so we're just like, there's it's not an actual debate.
Just let them go for like 4 hours.
I don't even think they should have a fucking moderator. Just put them up there, and that's an defined amount of time. And it's like, Trump, Biden, you're just going to fucking fight. Or Trump, Hillary, whoever it is, no moderator.
That is a terrible idea. That would be even worse than what we had last time.
Way better.
It's close to what we had, and it was terrible. It was just one guy yelling over the other the whole time.
No, they need to be in soundproof booths with timers, and they literally turn off their microphone like whenever their time is up. And it's like, all right, now we're gonna go to President Trump for his rebuttal.
And the loser of the debate, once again reminding you, this is brought to you by Nickelodeon, will be slimed.
That's great.
Dude, you don't think Trump would agree to get slimed? He absolutely
would. Be slimed.
If they asked the two candidates, like, all right, we've got this new debate style, loser gets slimed.
Biden will hide your piss stains. Agree.
Trump would totally worry about his hair. There's no way.
We're going to have a studio audience.
He's too vain.
This is a $70,000 haircut. I'm not sure if you read the news. I'm not going to bother this with it.
They talked about the ability to cut off mics for the next time around. I think that's bad. They should just not be on when it's not their turn, right? I don't want someone to make a decision to cut off mics and have bias and like, you know what? I think that Taylor's the bigger problem here, so I'm cutting his mic off. And then everyone who's a Taylor fan says Woody's biased against him. No. If the rule is 2 minutes, both talk, it should be his mic, then both mics.
Trump will speak loudly enough so that we hear him through Biden's mic.
But would it work? I think he'd look like an ass. I had that same thought. I don't think it.
What if he takes Biden's mic?
Now that would be. I don't know if that'd be awesome.
What if he saunters over there and just wasn't finished yet?
Woody, do you not want the president to be an asshole?
Right. Yeah, I don't think it's worked.
No, you don't like that?
No, we want someone who's a bit of an
doesn't have any allies.
Doesn't have any allies in the United States.
Yes, that would be fantastic. No allies in the government at all.
And not being, well, we can get into the ally discussion, but yeah, we have tons of allies.
Like North Korea and Russia are our new allies, and European Union, which used to be our allies, are kind of leaving us.
Not the European Union is leaving us. Aren't they pretty much entirely contingent on us?
Yes.
Isn't every country just addicted to our money?
They still have to deal with us. We're the United States.
Everyone has to deal with us to some extent, but there's a difference between, allies and people who have to deal with us.
Yeah.
If they're so fickle that they're going to turn their backs on us because the president rubs them wrong, then do we really want them to be our allies?
Every single allegiance we have to any other nation should have a direct and positive benefit to our country. That's the way it should be.
Yeah,
That's how all my relationships work.
These long-standing alliances with like people from 200 years ago, where we'll agree to still get involved in a war on their behalf, like it's not good.
It's what keeps peace.
Or it's what creates global wars.
For example,
World War One,
World War I, World War II, the chain of alliances that led one thing, which could have been a regional conflict, into becoming a global.
I think that's how World War II went down. That if we hadn't jumped in that war, that if the other companies hadn't jumped in that war, going back 100 years now, but
that's true. But World War I directly led to World War II.
So in World War II, you think that if other countries hadn't gotten involved, the Germans would have been like, you know what, this is enough countries. We're cool. We'll stop here.
Wait, do you think Germany actually wanted to conquer the whole world?
I don't think they were done yet.
I
think it was those alliances that made Germany lose.
In part, you're right. The U.S. and Russia getting together.
Another reason why they're a bad idea, Woody.
Touche. Yeah, you got me.
That was it was going right here the whole time. Kyle grabbed take out of the air. That's funny.
I thought you were speaking pro.
Right
for this point. I thought you were saying
that common misconception Kyle and I have in this. Like,
yeah.
right?
Christ, what kind of proud boy are you? You don't know
right,
people's
right.
history.
You got me.
Hey, I'll have you know I haven't beaten off in a long time. I'm the proudest of boys.
Does that have anything to do with being a proud boy? Do they have some sort of anti-masturbation?
There used to be a no masturbation rule, and they backed it. They lowered it to just once a month.
Couldn't even stick with their own no beating off rule.
It's once a month now. Once a month you can beat off.
You gotta let the steam off sometimes. Good God.
Unless you're with a woman and you get permission from her, or unless you're either with her or you get permission from her, because they started it to get their buddy laid. Yeah, they started it to get their buddy laid, and then they realized that he's like a masturbation addict, so he doesn't have any like drive to be with a woman or please a woman. So they said that's it, only once a month or something, only once whatever, unless you get permission. And these guys swear by it because they're horny now and they want to go fuck chicks instead of just getting drunk and playing video games.
All right.
It's built all around that. It's like their own religion. No masturbating.
How do you become one? How do we
just stop masturbating? This? There you go.
You're muted.
Who is?
Taylor's. I was saying that I found an article I just linked from a couple of years ago. New Proud Boy rules: less fighting, less wanking. And it's like two guys looking very serious at the camera.
That guy on the left.
Do you think that we're going to beat off? Nice try.
That guy on the left was on Joe Rogan.
He's the founder of Proud.
Yeah, Alex McInnes. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of clips of him just saying some outlandish shit. It's like a whole montage of him talking about choking and punching people.
I saw something. I saw
Gavin McInnes
from him. He on the show shoved a dildo up his own ass.
Yeah, he shoved a butt plug in his ass to own the libs. I'm not sure.
How does that dovetail with not beating off?
I don't know.
That seems like maybe he was cheating in a way.
Right. You know? What if he hadn't beat off enough and now he's just coming up with weird ways around it?
Weird ways to get off.
like, you know what?
No, I'm just doing a funny bit.
There's no rules against prostate massage and spontaneous orgasm. I hardly touched it.
Wait, this guy put a butt plug in on the air, on camera?
On camera to own the libs.
Not showing his asshole, but like he was like bending over in a way showing his front.
I think he had a sport jacket and a tie on.
Yeah, like a sport jacket and a tie. Like a guy who does it often enough that attire was no... he
knew what he was doing. Yeah,
he wasn't being held back by those.
I don't know if it was a butt plug or if it was. I think it was a dildo, but who knows with how memes spread. But I'm gonna run with dildo because that's funnier.
I want to find that clip. I'm
Dildo
just gonna search Proud Boys.
No, it's Gavin McInnes. It's not Alex McInnes.
Hate group leader. Yeah. Using a dildo on himself to quote own the liberals and prove he wasn't homophobic. Oh. I actually like that.
I'm showing a picture to everybody.
That actually makes sense. All right.
Well, mission accomplished.
Oh, he looks like he's not enjoying it at all.
That's what he wants.
Because of the homophobia. That's why.
Oh, wow. He just really dropped trowel there on the air. Oh, goodness. I like his jeans, though. What is this?
Just pictures.
I can't believe you guys haven't seen that before.
Oh, I have. Come on, Dick.
Look at that look on his face. I love the facial hair. He looks like a fucking Mythbuster or something like that. He doesn't look like he leads a hate group.
He left the Proud Boys because it's hard to know what the scoop is, but he started the Proud Boys and it changed into this sort of white nationalist hate group, and he's like, fuck it, guys, I'm out. That's not what I was about. It was always supposed to be funny and fun, and I don't like what you are anymore. So he's not associated with it, I guess. He left it.
Really?
Dick, does that sound right?
James Fields, I think, in Charlottesville, the Proud Boys were there, and that guy James Fields was in his car. The mob surrounded him, and he gunned it and killed one of them.
Actually, she had a heart attack. I always like to make that clear.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. It's something that you see like all the time now that the riots.
Woody doesn't think she had a heart attack.
Are we talking about Charlottesville? Because I was multitasking.
Yeah, we're talking about
Heather Heyer. So then Gavin stepped down to get him.
Woody was the second coroner on the scene, and his report showed no heart attack.
I like this. This woman gets smashed by a car.
Car didn't hit her.
And the car hit her. And
she was afraid.
Her defense attorney is like, nope, it really wasn't about the car. She had a spontaneous heart attack while the car hit her.
I believe she had a heart attack because she was frightened of a car. I believe that. But
anyway, please tell you.
You might have had to get a job. She was probably afraid of that. So he quit to make the judge more lenient on them, I think, and their association with the Proud Boys or something. That's the way I heard it.
Oh, he told
I don't know. I don't think it worked.
Story to Joe Rogan, I think. But
who, McInnes?
Maybe you're right. Yeah. I'm a low confidence on it, so don't take your news from me on this. But I know he's not a Proud Boy anymore.
What a weird name for a group. It sounds like a joke group.
It started that way.
You know what I mean? Proud Boy.
Scanning this thing. I know it's not good content.
Oh,
Milo Yiannopoulos was in it too. He also resigned from the group.
What the fuck is that guy doing?
Dude, he needs to get in. The conservative side has many strengths, but comedy's not one of them. Milo needs to get involved. He is the funniest guy on the right that I can think of.
Yeah, when I want to laugh, I turn on Comedy Central. Just laugh my tits off. Laugh my tits off at what is Oliver and all those guys.
I don't watch.
So
well, he's on. Isn't John Oliver on
at all anymore? John Oliver's on HBO. Yeah.
Yeah.
Without an audience, all of them are a little worse.
For the health of comedy in the current cultural zeitgeist, what they really need is a left-leaning political comedy commentator. It's about time they added a
right. I see what you're doing, but
obviously this content resonates with average people and isn't astroturfed. It's just great. It's awesome.
Jimmy Fallon, Stephen Colbert, of course, Bill Maher, John Oliver. The left is flooded with left-leaning comedians. Mm-hmm. Milo needs to fill that gap on the right.
Yeah, but nowhere's going to platform him. And I also don't think he's very right-wing or very funny.
Oh yeah. I think he has a
also
great
the
delivery.
Pedophilia thing kind of rubbed a few people the wrong way.
Rubbed him the right way.
Oh,
he was
back
in.
You guys were talking about all this serious stuff, and I was like, "Oh, goddamn! The Irish Supreme Court says that Subway bread doesn't qualify as bread."
I know, too much sugar. Too much sugar. It's not.
Is that
bread.
all the bread or just the white bread though?
No, it's all the bread. All the bread. They're like, "Go fuck yourself." It's too high sugar.
They have like 9-grain wheat bread there. How does that have too much sugar?
That has too much sugar, dude. And I am telling you this as a fact. I have not clicked on the article yet.
Dude, I read an article about that. I don't know why it matters that it's not bread, but it just I think all restaurant food is super bad for you, no matter where you go. They just give you so much butter, so much oil, so much fat, so much salt. It's fantastic. But you can hardly order a healthy meal and get a healthy meal. They make the food taste good. That's how they do it.
Woody, have you ever looked up where you'll be like, damn, I want to make Mongolian beef, but I want to make it the way P.F. Chang's does. And then you look up the way they do it, and it's like, yeah, it's like normal Mongolian beef, but secret. Full stick of butter, 3 times the amount of oil. And it's like, oh, I didn't want to learn this.
Put some sugar on it too and serve it. Yeah, like
and then just paste sugar on top of your fat meat and then go, oh, it's lean. Like
restaurant food is terrible for you and delicious.
It's so good. That's why restaurants stay in business.
They're not worried at all about your health. They just want you to come back and ignore the truth. So Subway bread's not bread. Too much sugar.
Yeah, Subway bread is not bread.
According to Ireland.
That's true. I haven't trusted the Irish.
Touche. Yeah,
that's where I get all my bread news.
From Ireland. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. What the fuck? Where do they get off? What do they know about bread? They make.
Is there a lawsuit about bread? Like that someone is suing because they didn't get the ingredients on their sandwich?
Let me scan it.
I don't think they want Subway to be able to call their sandwiches anymore because technically the bread on them isn't bread.
Oh. I got to call them stacks. We got Subway stacks of produce and meat and products.
So I guess they're trying to categorize it as a staple food, which doesn't get taxed.
Oh.
But because it's more like junk food, you have to pay 10% tax.
And probably some sort of like welfare card doesn't work for it as well.
The sugar content in Irish bread isn't supposed to be more than 2%. I don't know how it could be more than 2% sugar, and it's 10%. So
well, they're not even close.
Sugar.
That's 5 times the maximum amount of sugar.
And in fairness to Ireland, Subway's bread is fucking terrible. It is awful. I don't care when they do the song and dance about like, wow, we're pulling this out of the just baked oven. It's like, go fuck yourself. You have a neck tattoo. Like, there's no way you baked that fresh.
It smells good.
There's no way you showed up early like an artisan baker and made this 9-grain wheat.
What franchise would you want to own? Subway's often considered a good one.
I would say Subway because people go to Subway to think
Subways are literally